Hello, bros. We're back with The Golem Remembered 1909 to 1980 Variations of a Jewish Legend by Arnold L. Goldsmith. We are approaching the end here. Only a few pages left before bibliographic commentary. I don't even know where I left off here. I'm going to guess right here. Borges sees the Golem as imitating Rabbi Lowe in his daily prayers, but the poet adds a delightful ambiguity as he suggests the possibility of rebellion. The stupefied and smirking creature would sometimes bend into the concave salams of the Orient. Rabbi Lowe looked fondly at his creation, but at the same time felt fear. He wondered how he could have created a golem without having given him wisdom. Why to the infinite mystery and pain of life did I add another cause, effect, and woe? These troubled thoughts prepare the reader for the final stanza of the poem, in which Borges lays bare the core of his skepticism as he imagines God's possible disappointment in the imperfection of his creation. The scholarly mystic Judah Lowe, and by logical extension, in man, at the hour of anguish and vague light, he would rest his eyes on his golem. Who can tell us what God felt as he gazed on his rabbi in Prague? Among those who enjoyed the Borges poem was the American writer John Hollander, who credits the Argentinian poet with jogging his memory and reminding him of tales and myths he had thought long forgotten. Hollander published his response as a poem in Harper's Magazine, June 1969. The full text is given below. Letter to Jorge Luis Borges. Apropos of the Golem, I've never been to Prague, and the last time that I was there, its stones sang in the rain. The river dreamed them, and that dream lay plain upon its surface, shallow and sublime. The residues of years of dream remained, solidified in structures on each bank. Other dreams then of Prague and raining sank under dark water as their memory waned. And far beneath the surface of reflection lay a dream, a deep dream that was not Prague, but of it, of silent light from the gray sky above it, the river running in some dreamed direction. Oh, Borges, I remember this too clearly, staring at paper now, having translated your poem of Prague. My flood of ink abated, to have recalled it from my last trip merely. 3 mythical cronies my great-grandfather was known to speak of nurtured dark designs against my childhood. From between the lines of what was told me of them, I infer how Haschel Byzantis, Chaim Pip, the Bab Minucha, and his friends conspire. Over old pipes, sparks in a beard catch fire. The smoke grows heavier with each slow sip. I scream and wake from sleep into a room I only remember now in dreams. My mother calms me with tales of Prague, back in another time. All I remember is a tomb near what was called the Old New Synagogue, under a Baroque stone whose turn and column emerge in the first dawn lies, dead and solemn, my ancestor, the Rabbi Lowe of Prague. He made the golem, which means embryo, potential person, much more than machine, and quickened him with a name that has been hidden behind all names that one could know. We have our family secrets, how the creature tried for the rabbi's daughter, upped her dress till nacreous and bushy nakedness shone in the moonlight, groped but failed to reach her. How once, when heat throbbed in the August skies and children were playing hide and seek, the golem trailed the one who was it, and nearly stole him before the shadows rang with all their cries. But was he circumcised? What glimmering rose in his thick face at evening? Were they sham? Did he and 9 men make a quorum? I am not, alas, at liberty to disclose. But how he saved the Jews of Prague is told in a late story from a Polish source, not to be taken serious, of course, no more than one about the emperor's gold. These tales jostle each other in their corner, at the eye's edge, skirting the light of day. The bad minutia lurks not far away, as if around a grave, like a paid mourner. Too dumb to live, he could not touch, but muddy, lest the Virgin's Sabbath be desecrated. The rabbi spoke. It was deanimated, half-baked ceramic molder in his study. Save for the fire of process, elements mix sadly. Mud is born of water and earth. Air knows water. A bubble comes to birth. Air and earth and air, nothing that makes any sense. But bubble, mud, and that incoherent third, when animated by the meta-name that is no mere breath of air itself, because the myth whose footsteps we just overheard together shuffling down a hallway, Borges, today toward its own decreation, dull and lonely, lost in the meager world of one and only, one Golem, but so many Johns and Jorges, or Georges, maybe it is Jorge's. It is Jorge. Or is it George's? George. I don't know how you say Borges' name. Hollander's 18 stanzas, unlike Borges. Rhythm, rhyme, ABA, ABBA, CDDC, and so on, and are written in fairly regular meter, basically iambic pentameter. Like Borges, Hollander playfully uses feminine rhymes, for example, Golem, stole them. In the final stanza, even rhyming the poet's last name with the plural of his first, Borges. Jorge's. Missing, I think it is George's. Missing from the Hollander poem is Borges's religious skepticism, but Hollander's love of the legend is evident throughout. Where Borges devoted many stanzas to Rabbi Lowe's creation of the Golem and its education, using the old legend as a vehicle to question God's displeasure with man, Hollander is more personal, more reminiscing, more intent on exhuming buried memories just for the sheer pleasure of recollection and exploring old roots. He is proud to be a descendant of Rabbi Lowe. Hollander's poem begins with an arresting paradox. I've never been to Prague, and the last time that I was there, its stones sang in the rain. The poet has been to Prague only in dreams and memories of his family, nurtured by his mother's stories, and after he translated Borges' poem, such dreams and memories became more real to him than an actual visit to the old city. He remembers childhood nightmares brought on by his great-grandmother's mythical cronies, whose beards caught fire from the sparks of their pipes. He remembers being calmed at night by his mother, who told him tales of Prague and another time, about the Altneu school and their ancestor, Rabbi Lowe, who made the Golem. Like Borges, Hollander explains that Rabbi Lowe animated the Golem by invoking God's secret, name that has been hidden behind all names that one could know. Borges invented his own details about the horrified cat. Hollander adds some titillating details about family secrets, which reveal the Golem's terrifying behavior. In a delightful parody of Golemania, the extensive commentary of learned men over the centuries arguing the attributes of the Golem, Hollander asks, but was he circumcised, and did he and 9 men make a quorum? The answers to these questions I am not, alas, at liberty to disclose. Hollander alludes Can I just read without botching this? Hollander alludes only obliquely to the blood libel and the threatened pogrom from which the Golem saved the Jews of Prague. A story which is not to be taken seriously, of course. More interesting to him is the fate of the Golem. His mission accomplished, too dumb to live, he could not touch, but muddy, lest the Virgin Sabbath be desecrated, the rabbi spoke. With the Golem reduced to half-baked ceramic moldering. Oh, man. Rabbi Lowe's study, Hollander philosophizes about the nothingness of the natural elements as they are mixed in nature. Until the meta name is added, then and then only is shape given to shapeless matter, is myth created. Thus the world needs the poet, the myth maker, extraordinary. As men move down the hallway of life, it comforts Hollander to be part of the brotherhood of artists. He is grateful to his colleague, Borges, because in a world in which there is only one Golem, there are so many Johns and Jorges. Even when the final paragraph of this book is being read, some creative person is sitting at an easel or typewriter thinking of a new way to reanimate the Golem in comic strip, short story, novel, play, scenario, painting, or poem. The spirit of the Golem refuses to remain quiescent in the garret of the alt-new synagogue, covered with tattered prayer shawls or ripped pages of discarded Sidurim, the idea of man's being able to create life in a test tube, or through cloning, or as being able to freeze bodies for future reanimation when medical technology can cure old diseases, will continue to intrigue audiences dreaming of human perfection and immortality. The robot as servant has also been part of this fantasy, whether he be one of Rossum's Universal Robots in Capex RUR 1922, or a Hollywood automaton in Westworld 1973, or Star Wars 1977. Sometimes he is seen in a museum, a technology exhibit, or on the evening's televised news as a pair of mechanical arms performing dangerous tasks in factories, nuclear plants, or laboratories. But the danger of the mechanisms breaking down or going berserk will always haunt the minds of the viewers and creators. Perhaps Walt Disney, with an assist from Goethe, caught the image best in Fantasia, with the endless multiplication of broomsticks frantically out of control, to the dismay of the sorcerer's apprentice. Whatever the scene, man will always be searching for the magic word, the hidden talisman that will turn the robot off at his command. The difference that one letter makes between Emmet and Met can be the difference between a world of hope and a world of despair, between true knowledge and destruction. The legend of the Golem will always serve as a reminder to man of the need to know the difference. And that will conclude the book, and I will continue next time with bibliographic commentary, which is what? 3, 4, basically 8 pages. All right, Bobs. Goodbye. Goodbye.